the Munster Cast. Welcome to the show, we got a blast from the past. Yeah, it's the Munster Cast. You know what it is. Hit like, hit follow, subscribe to the biz. Leave a comment, share, let your thoughts fly.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters and Munsters. I'm, of course, your host. Wow, Myke Shrews here with my co-host and friend Tivis. So, Tivis, how you been this week, man?
I had a Charlie horse at 1:30 in the morning, and I haven't been back to sleep since.
Awesome.
I got a Pepsi, as my wife's old college professor would say. You drink a Pepsi, you get some energy.
Yeah. So I wanted to point out, guys, last week I did bleep a word from our show. I want everyone to know that was very, very hard for me to do, but I did it anyways.
He complained all week.
Yes, I did it just for you guys so that we don't get taken down off of the YouTubes and stuff like that. So
Is that a bottle of Tylenol
where?
on your
Oh
desk?
no, that's my water bottle.
Oh, I was like, well, we just started. I've already given you a headache.
Oh crap. Anyways, guys, we are going to dive into the dirty business. You can find us on all. Oh, what? You got something else first?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, did you buy your Firefest tickets yet?
No. What is Firefest?
You don't.
Is that the big one where they scammed a bunch of people out of money and stuff? And
Yeah, it's coming
there's
back.
like tents and stuff like that. No, I did not.
Yeah, we got tickets to Beetlejuice instead. We're going.
I give enough of my money away to scams, like Amazon and Netflix and
me.
all the stuff in my office.
Yeah, we're gonna go see Beetlejuice, the stage performance.
Oh, nice.
It's the traveling version though, so it's not the iconic guy everyone sees on YouTube. But
Right.
I'm still excited.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a cool thing to go see because it's the actual play itself, right? It's the musical, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
My favorites. All of this to throw you off and cause us to waste a couple of minutes.
All that, yes. All right, guys, let's dive on into the dirty business. You can find us on all social media platforms. Well, a couple social media platforms via the MunsterCast, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any other things that you are on. You can possibly Google or search in the search bar. We may pop up if one of us is on those services as our solo accounts and we're posting stuff there. So definitely take advantage and check that out, guys. You can also see our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday via youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. That's youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. You can also find all of our content in one single place at TheMunsterCast.com. That's TheMunsterCast.com. You can also click a little microphone icon over on the right-hand side of the screen there. Leave us a voice message, and we will play it on the following episode after we receive it. You can also click the merch, the shop tab, or just go to themunstercast.com/merch and pick up an awesome MunsterCast curated shirt just for you guys out there, Munster fans. They're not all MunsterCast branded labeled, but they are images that we created ourselves. So take advantage of that, guys. You can also email us every day that you want. You can email us 20 times a day. We don't care. Via themunstercast@outlook.com. That's themunstercast@outlook.com, and let us know what you think about the show and what you want to change, what you like about our changes, what you hate about us, what you love about us, all that fun stuff. Just don't treat it like it's, social media.
We also have a Patreon that I'm not going to imitate Mike. I'm ornery today. So we have a Patreon that is basically just a tip jar. Every little bit helps, keeps the lights on. Podcasting ain't free. We do it because we love it. If you want to help support us, we very much appreciate it. But times are tough. We know that. Don't worry about that. What helps us even more, leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice, stars if they have it. If you're on YouTube watching this, hit that like button. Oh, download the podcast. Don't stream it. Download it. If you're on YouTube, you don't have YouTube Premium, you can't download it. Don't worry about it. This is for audio listeners.
Okay.
I think I'm killing Myke here. But yes, leave us a review, comment, get that engagement up. It boosts us up in the charts, gets more people to find us. It helps a lot. And also just telling people, word of mouth. Word of mouth helps these shows a lot more than people realize.
Mouth to mouth also helps. So
Well, when you can't hear anything, you're just shouting words and do.
All right. So what are we talking about today, dude?
We're talking about making waves. I don't think either of us guessed what we witnessed in this episode.
No.
This is season 3, episode 6. We're the 124th if you slam both shows together. I'm going to keep doing that, even though it annoys Myke. It aired November 10th, 1990.
Mm-hmm.
Written by Andrew Borokoff, which, you know, we last saw him The Silver Bullet. I'm awake. This guy has so much, you know, memorable episode. Melting Pot, Pants on Fire, Thicker Than Water. We know this guy. He gives us pretty solid episodes every time. Directed by Russ Patranto again. One guest, and Myke lost his mind when he saw him. So let's go through what I have and see if it lists what he saw him in.
Oh, I know what I've seen him in. I literally just met this guy in person for the first time ever in my life a couple weeks back. Got a picture with him and everything too, but I mean, he's like part of my childhood to the point where I can't even explain. So I heard his voice because he looked a little familiar, but I know him more for all of his voice work.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely gonna get into that.
Yeah. So yeah.
So we're talking about Robbie Wrist as Jack the Surfing Angel. If you didn't watch this episode, that is going to be a heck of a title. He's got 164 projects listed on IMDb. First one was in one episode of Love American Style in 1972. We also have 6 episodes of The Brady Bunch in 74. 3 episodes of The Bionic Woman in 76, 3 episodes of The Mary Tyler Moore Show between 76 and 77, the underrated, totally ignored Battlestar Galactica, Just Galactica 1980. He was in 3 episodes of that from, of course, 1980. He was in 3 episodes of Chips from 78 to 82, an episode of Knight Rider in 85, The Love Boat in 86. Then begins his long, industrious voice acting career, where he voiced Myke.
What's that?
Who did he voice?
What year are we at?
Just the most iconic role you know him from.
I mean, Michelangelo from the Turtle movies, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, the first 3 movies, I will say.
90, 91, and 93.
Yes. Which is awesome because, and it's funny too, because I think the first time I saw him in a live action role was Sharknado.
I have that listed here too.
Yeah.
I knew you would definitely know him there. He even, go ahead.
Oh, go on.
Well, I was going to say he even guested it in the 1995 cartoon and got a role in the 2012 version as Mondo Gecko.
Yep. Yeah. But he's a really nice guy. We got to meet him, like I said, just a couple weeks ago. And as a child, like Michelangelo, like Mikey's my favorite turtle character. I know people can't see any turtle stuff here, mainly because I've curated this wall to be Munsters themed stuff. But I have a whole cabinet over here, and this whole wall above me is nothing but Ninja Turtle stuff. So
on the other show we used to do, me and the other guest had to talk him out of buying the cursed turtle puppet head that went up for sale.
But no, Yeah. Oh, are you talking about the zombie one, right? Like the
The
one
one
that's
that
all
looks like a
decayed and
zombie
stuff?
now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's one of the original movie ones that decayed and everything like that. Yeah,
It's
I remember that one.
horrifying.
It's okay. My wife had to like make sure I didn't buy this giant. So there's this
Oh boy.
Ninja Turtle, but it was Michelangelo because it was orange suit, but it was like designed for, but like how like your high school mascot suits are.
Mm-hmm.
This thing would have been hot as hell, especially in Florida.
Oh, definitely. The smell.
But they were selling for like, I don't remember. It was like 200 or 500 bucks. And I was like, I could get that. That's not bad. I mean, that's just a few, I could work it off. We'll be fine. Yeah, no. I don't know where I would have put that thing either because the head's bigger than my monitors. So I don't know.
You'd carve it out and wear it as a helmet, obviously.
Oh, I would just wear it every day around. I'd have to put a fan in it, kind of like the Chuck E. Cheese
smell.
costumes and stuff.
But as his voice acting career is very long, so I just threw a bunch of them together here to get them out of the way real quick.
Yeah.
Balto, Extreme Ghostbusters, the sequel to the real Ghostbusters. The Blues Brothers animated, the new Woody Woodpecker show, Zatch Bell, Lilo and Stitch, Naruto and its sequel Baruto as Choji, Evo Con Carne, Jackie Chan Adventures, Sonic Boom, The Adventures of Puss in Boots, the 2014 Transformers show, the Powerpuff Girls reboot, the children's show Doc McStuffins, which he's done 130 episodes for, and 10 episodes of a miniseries spinoff. Then outside of his voice, he's also done several Final Fantasy games, to just throw that in there. And of course, as Mike said, 2 Sharknadoes, all of which came to his most recent movie, Barbie Mermaid Adventure from 2024.
Did you get Powerpuff Girls too?
Yeah, the reboot. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Is that the reboot one?
Yep.
Okay.
The original.
Yeah, he does a ton of voice acting, and like if you've ever heard like Michelangelo, or Mondo Gecko from the 2012 series, and then you watch this episode and you see his or hear his voice, you're just like, I know that voice. And it took me a second until he said a specific word, and I was like, yep, that's him. Like totally. Like,
can't you say I've never heard of Mondo Gecko till I sent you that complete comic collection the other day, and now he's popping up here.
Really? Yeah. He's a gecko that is like,
I got that part.
He uses a skateboard. I don't remember in the 2012 series if he did like the
Mondo.
So the original one, he had a skateboard. He also has like a skate on his tail, so his tail isn't just on the ground and stuff, which is very creative, because I don't think a lot of people would have thought about that aspect. They probably just would have been like, his tail's going to be up in the air. No, his tail had a skate on it, so it could go along the ground too. Anyways,
this is more than I ever needed to know about obscure Ninja Turtles character.
If I remember correctly, he started off as like a semi, like he was supposed to be a bad guy, but then became good because he was like, I don't want to hurt the turtles. They're cool.
Is he like creator owned, like the rabbit guy that
spun
off into its own thing?
No. He is like a turtle owned thing. He's not like Usagi Yojimbo, where he's like, Usagi is for people who don't know, he's like the samurai rabbit, but he was in a lot of Ninja Turtle stuff, but he also is like owned like separately, kind of like Green Hornet, where he's like his own agent. Basically, he can go into anything. So
I literally only know about that one because of the Power Rangers crossover.
He was in Power Rangers? Oh, comic, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay.
A one shot.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it just came out recently. It's not bad.
Okay.
So like I said, 164 projects. Go check out his list of accolades, I guarantee you will find something that you have possibly hurt him in.
Oh yeah,
at the very
definitely.
least.
Yeah, and just so people know, like, you know, he was in the best 3 live action Ninja Turtle movies so far. So we're just saying.
I can't dispute it because I haven't seen any others, or even all 3 of those. So,
I mean, the first one is like when we did on our other show, Operation Babel. We talked about. I don't remember if you were on there or not yet, but we
no.
did a episode where we did like the top 5 comic book movies, and I put the first Ninja Turtle movie because we took out certain ones. We're like, well, we're not going to talk about Dark Knight and certain things like that.
I mean,
Um,
it's
but
still in the top 5 highest earning comic adaptations ever. So,
the first movie,
yeah.
But I put that as my number one. Like, it's the best comic book movie, mainly because of the cinematography in the movie. It's an independent film, but the way it is shot and everything, and the with the budget especially too, I think it was one of the best iterations for a comic book movie, especially of its time in the 90s when everybody was going really goofy with everything. So yeah, it's a
Yeah, it's
really
the
good
third.
deep movie. Like, you don't appreciate that movie as a kid as much, but when you get older, you watch it more and you're like, man, that's such a great movie. I mean, as a kid I watched it a lot too, but the second one was more kid friendlier because they went more like kind of like the cartoon a little bit more in that with the humor and stuff. So of course that one got watched the most. Was and that's the one with like Vanilla Ice was in it and stuff like that, and you know, all those other random stuff.
I just remember the next mutation, and it is not great.
Oh, Next Mutation's fun though, man. Like, yeah.
I can't wait to be done with it.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
it
dive
is
on into this.
the third most earning
Oh,
comic book movie ever. So,
it's the third what?
earned the most out of any comic adaptation.
Oh, yeah, because it had a really low budget.
Like percentage.
Yeah, percentage wise. Yeah.
So,
All right, man.
Yeah. So, I think that's it. This is time.
Oh shit, it is time.
Yeah.
It's time. It's synopsis time. We're talking about Making Waves, which aired November 10th, 1990, as Tivis previously stated. On this episode of The Munsters Today, Grandpa's brush with death leads to his totally tubular angel appearing. With Grandpa's imminent path to hell, will his gnarly angel be able to coach him to a path full of heavenly lights and surfer babes? Or will Grandpa's centuries of bad doings carve his ultimate destiny into the depths of hell? Will Herman's resume be enough to make him VP? Or will the weight of Mama Gateman hold him down? Will the family get Grandpa the electrotherapy they believe he needs? Or will the voice of Michelangelo save the day and bring Grandpa back to his happy place? Will Grandpa's need for heavenly acceptance create a persona that drives him to depression? Or will Eddie and Marilyn suggest a straitjacket and a padded room? And will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today. Yeah.
You just put Ultimate Battle of Ultimate Destiny in my head, and I hate you.
What?
You've never heard that song?
No.
Oh, I gotta send it to you. It's an old song.
Just because I'm an old person doesn't mean I've heard every old song. I do listen. Look, in my spare time, I listen to Frank Sinatra when no one's around just to relax.
Oh, the Bat Pack.
Oh, that's in my notes.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you're darn right it is.
So this episode we open on the house.
Yeah.
And it's still hard to believe that this is a model with some of these shots that they do of the exterior of this house. Because remember, this is for people who don't recall from the first season of Munsters Today, they didn't have an exterior house besides like the porch. So everything that we see exterior wise from afar, all model shots. It's hard to believe that these are model shots sometimes because they're really well done.
Oh yeah, they are.
Down to the wind effect with the leaves blowing and stuff. Like, how tiny were those leaves? Or how big was the model? Like that's another question too. But yeah,
Yeah, was it like the Barbie dream house size?
right. I mean, like if you think back, like Star Wars, all the ships and stuff, those were models, but they were huge.
Now I want a Barbie dream size Munsters house.
You don't have space for it. Your wife will kill you.
No, I didn't say I wanted to buy it. I just wanted to see it. Mattel, get on this.
No, Mattel, don't get on this.
They're the ones who own it.
NECA. Let's let NECA do it.
They don't build houses.
Neither does Mattel. They build fake houses.
Dream houses. That's what I'm getting
NECA
at.
does. NECA does. Like pieces. They could do a house.
Like Reese's Pieces.
And NECA did the Munsters action figures too.
Well, then they can partner. NECA can make the dollies, and
Does Mattel
can
actually
make the house.
Does Mattel actually own the rights to the Munster stuff?
No, Barbie Dream House.
Oh, Barbie. I was about to say, how do you know this? Because I didn't even know that one. Okay. Moving on.
So they're setting the table, or they're sitting around the table. I mean, Marilyn's like, "Hey, where's her?" Marilyn asks her aunt, "Where's Herman taking you dancing tonight?" They're like, "Oh, their favorite getaway, the Holiday Inn by the interstate," which honestly takes me back to when I used to live with my wife's family. We would often take a vacation just to get away from them in some of the crappiest places. Dude, you ever been to Luna Pier, Michigan?
Maybe. I've been
Don't.
to a lot of places.
Don't ever go there. But anyway, Grandpa says, why be serenaded by violins when you can be honked at by horns? Herman asks what he's doing tonight. Not much. Just meeting with Count Sinastra and Count Martin from the old Bat Pack.
And now I'm wondering, are they saying that Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin are actually vampires?
I mean, it would make sense with some of the stuff they did.
Because I'm like, that'd be kind of cool. But then they
but
make
only
it,
those two.
Yeah.
Not the other two. I love that they have, the Rat Pack, but inside of that is the Bat Pack. I don't know. It just reminds me of like Zix, where they have, the council, and then inside of that's the smaller council, and inside that's the smaller council, where they're all just plotting against each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in real life, you had the Rat Pack and you had the Brat Pack. So you just take away the R.
I'm sorry,
and
the what?
The Brat Pack.
Does this have to do with dollies too?
No. It was Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe, Molly Ringwald, Anthony Hall, Andrew McCarthy, Ali Sheedy, Judd Nelson, and Demi Moore.
That's too many people. You got to kick some people out.
It was about like young actors back in the 80s. A group of like, the up and comings.
So were they officially a group, or the people just lumped them together because they all started around the same time?
No, I think it was like they did a lot of stuff together too. It was actually the term came from like, I think the media started it out as like it was supposed to be a derogatory thing towards them. So at first it was a derogatory thing, but then like fans of these actors and stuff embraced the shit and turned it around on them and like, screw you guys, these are cool people, these are great actors, so, which I mean they all are great actors if you look at their thing. I mean,
heck,
come on, Coach Bombay, bro.
Me know nothing entertainer watcher recognize the names, so they definitely stand out.
Yeah.
Anyway, I literally have that word in my notes. Grandpa continues that they are I knew we were going to get sidetracked with that. I preemptively put it in. Grandpa continues that they are off to find some go-go girls doing a little necking and paint the town red. Eddie wants to go, and Lily's like, no, but only because it's a school night.
Oh, great. This family, bro. Yeah.
That was a weird timing.
What?
We both did it at the same time.
No.
So yeah, Herman's got a newspaper during this whole thing. And he sees an article on Grandpa's favorite carbonated plasma. What's it called, Mike?
The what?
The drink. What do you have it?
No, I didn't write that drink name down.
Dracu-Cola. Good to the last drop. Now, does this mean that his family started the business?
I don't know. I'm trying to see if the paper says a name on it besides. Oh, wait. Go back. Go on. Continue.
Yeah, well, Grandpa takes a big old swing before Herman tells him it turns out to be laced with essence of garlic. And he spits it out, explaining that it's poisoned the vampires. Herman continues that 3 vampires have already died from drinking it. The first sign you may be poisoned is breaking out in a cold sweat. Grandpa immediately starts sweating. The second sign...
This is not the Transylvania Gazette or anything. This is just a normal newspaper I just saw.
Yeah.
And so why are they talking about vampire stuff?
I mean, you get 3 vampires who drop dead. That's going to be news.
That's just a good day for Buffy.
And I'm sure if the public knew about it, they would print it too. I've never seen Buffy. Don't correct me. So the second sign is severe abdominal cramps. Grandpa doubles over in pain. The third and final sign is a sharp pain to the heart. Grandpa hasn't felt such pain since finding it Elvira stuffs her bra. You perverted old man.
His like the Dracu-Cola or whatever they call it. Is that what they call it? Dracu-Cola?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like red cream soda.
Yeah. In like a glass Coke bottle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Grandpa then dies and Lily freaks out. But Herman says, no, he didn't. Grandpa immediately comes back to life.
Oh, so this isn't a business paper. Why is this in a business paper? It literally just says business on the top of the paper.
Well, maybe that's the business section on the other side that Herman's reading.
No, that's the whole paper.
Maybe it's a newspaper about Dracula business.
Nope. Anyways, Grandpa's like,
yeah.
Before he falls on the couch, doesn't he say, I haven't felt such pain since I found out Elvira stuffed her bra?
Yes. And so did I.
Did you? What was that?
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Was that from my end or yours?
That was your end, bro.
What the
There's something in Tivis's vents. It's gonna get him.
God, I hope the cat didn't get in there. She's downstairs now.
Anyways.
Now I'm worried she broke something. All right. That's going to be a fun next couple hours. So Grandpa dies and then is brought back to life when Herman says, no, he didn't. So the poison's effects are immediate. You would have been dead half an hour ago, you dummy. I'd love the smugness of Herman doing this too, because it's got to be not often that he can, outsmart Grandpa with knowledge.
Yeah. So on the back of Herman's newspaper is a car ad. $374 payments for 36 months. So that's a $13,000 car in the 90s. That seems expensive.
So it's probably, it's a business newspaper. But these people got money.
Yeah, true. Sorry.
Especially in the 90s. That's when it all started. Grandpa feels like he really died. His whole life flashed before his eyes, and Marilyn says that's a lot of life. He didn't like that comment. He also didn't like what he saw. his whole life full of mischief. When he dies, he's definitely going to the place where they pay their heat bill on time.
Oh, but you've
Which
done
is
plenty of. Oh, go on.
that is I've never heard of hell described that way, but
As what?
the place where the heat bill is paid on time.
Well, yeah. You think about it, like it's always the hot, is what he's saying.
But
They never turn. They never turn the heat off, is what he's saying. It's always hot. It's constantly hot. It's not. It's supposed to be taken literally, Tivis.
Good. Who are they paying the bill to, Myke?
Look, they just take heaven's trash, and that's why they get a free heat bill.
Oh, so it's literally a garbage dump.
Yes.
Need all those workers.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
I'm delirious.
I'll preface later.
So Lily calls BS and says he's done plenty of good things, and he's like, "Name one." She stops and starts asking for help behind Grandpa's back, and I'm like, "Okay, someone how about he raised a daughter on his own? Anyone?"
Yeah, he raised you on his own. He's helped take care of your kids while you're at work.
This is like the softest of soft questions you could answer, Lily.
Right. I mean, just like he was what do you call it? Faithful to his wife to a T for
even after she
300 years after she left. Yeah.
Herman wonders what the underworld, good movie, is like.
Grandpa's
for vampires.
Actually not a bad, like, if you want to get into the religious stuff, like Grandpa's not actually like a bad like type of Christian, if minus the belief of God, if he believes or not. But
I was going to throw out all the stuff he got up to with Genghis Khan, but
I'm also going to state that. So I'm probably going to bring up religion a lot within this episode, but like based on
to preface
him,
this, audience listeners, Myke has studied it, like actual school.
But like based on him, like stating the devil all the time and talking about the devil, we've had an episode where the devil was here. Actually,
yeah, he was. What they call him? Lucy,
Louis. But with that information already, so Grandpa does believe in the devil. Even Satanists believe in God, because with a belief in the devil, there is a God, is what it is. That's throughout all religions, whether it's God or Allah or whatever you want to believe in. I'm not sure if we're allowed to say that name on things. I don't remember. We can say Allah,
no,
right? We just can't say it. Show pictures.
The pictures are prohibited.
And here's a picture. No.
It's just a picture of South Park of an empty screen.
No, they showed the real thing. They showed the real
I thought
picture.
The joke was that they were going to, and then it was just a blank screen.
No, they showed the real thing, if I recall. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up while we continue. Go on.
Don't show it though. No, that's it. Unless you're Doctor Who, then you just get the devil.
Yeah. Anyways,
that was a weird episode.
Grandpa, the real picture.
Yeah, Herman is wondering what the underworld is like for vampires, and Grandpa's like, well, Grandpa has heard tales that it's next to bite as far as the eye can see, but you lose your fangs.
Yeah.
I feel like vampires could get a job down there.
Doing what?
Helping torture.
Vampires are just they're like lower class minions. They would be.
Say that to Grandpa. He'll slap you.
That's what they are in hell. Come on. I've watched plenty of Buffy. I heard the stories. But technically, in a lot of iterations, though, vampires are demons within a body. That's what they are. So they're just straight up demons inside of a body. The human soul is no longer within the body. However, with the first vampire, which would be Vladimir Dracula, it's hard to say.
Nosferatu.
It's the same thing. It's just a different name. They just didn't have the rights to Dracula. I know too much stupid information. This is why my wife hates me.
But it's why I like you.
But you don't do the things she does to me, so.
And I never will. So in the lab, Grandpa's writing a will. Being of sound mind and supposedly mortal body, I hereby bequeath my timeshare condo to the southern coast of Transylvania. Oh, on the southern coast of Transylvania. Like, oh, Grandpa, you fell for the timeshare scam.
Well, then he talked about that in another episode. I thought
He may have.
Yeah, his
Don't buy
computer
those.
screen is very green in this episode.
It's the AI.
Is this Sam the AI, right?
Yeah.
This is then he continues on. Do you have all of it that he said?
Yes. He leaves a round trip ticket to Oz. Oh, to Herman. He leaves a round trip ticket to Oz. So he can finally ask the wizard for a break. Even in his will, he's doing jabs. Or is Oz a real place in this world?
I'm going to go with Oz as a real place in this world.
I choose to believe that too.
Yep.
Where else could you get a Franco turning into Jeff Goldblum?
Wait, what?
You remember the Franco, Oz the Great and Powerful?
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Goldblum plays the wizard in the Wicked movie.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Not the same universe. Different Oz's.
You can't prove that.
If I watched the Wicked movie, I bet I could prove it.
I don't remember the Great and Powerful, so I don't know.
Exactly.
There's no continuity errors. What are you talking about?
The Emerald City probably looks different.
I believe they're still building it in that one. Anyway, at the moment, a surfing bro teleports into the lab and claims to be an angel. I say feed him to Spot now. His name is Jack, and I hate him.
I'm Jack the Surfing Angel, dude. Yeah, he's wearing like a Captain America hat.
I have that too. Yeah. So Grandpa's never heard of an angel that surfs, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not a boring prissy one. That's why." The great wave maker saw how close Grandpa came to biting the farm last night, so he sent Jack down to help. I'm going to use again a lot of Jack's terminology because I had to hear it. Now, so do you.
Tubular.
So when he actually purchases the farm, he can get into heaven. Grandpa is shocked he could actually be redeemed, as are we. Jack says he wouldn't have been sent if they didn't think Grandpa could earn wings of his for his wetsuit. I fully believe they gave Jack an impossible mission just to keep him going longer because he's so annoying.
Yeah.
I said that because I wrote it in my notes. Grandpa
I'm gonna reach out to Robbie Wrist and see if he wants to come on the show and talk about doing this episode if he remembers it.
Yeah, and then we could talk about his other stuff too.
Yeah.
Grandpa has no idea what he's talking about. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. I skipped a thing. Grandpa asks what he has to do, and Jack says, well, we have to check the wax on your board. Grandpa's like, what?
The what?
No need to bum out. And he touches one of his Captain America wings on the tip of his hat, and a surfboard appears saying, Grandpa dude. Judging by the major bad wax on the board, he can tell Grandpa was a major party animal in his youth. Grandpa's like, hey, if you thought you were immortal, You may, there's, you have the time of your life too.
Yeah.
Well, that Dracucola hickey he got made him realize there's no endless summer. And that is a term that Grandpa used. The wave breaks for everyone, man. And Grandpa's like, I don't know how to surf. So Jack goes, relax, you nocturnal barracuda. That's what I'm here for. He grabs Grandpa's board and tells him to stand on it. Grandpa gets on and crosses his arms, which is a great look. He's so defiant. Now, Jack picks up his wave meter to see how big Grandpa's wave needs to be. The bigger the wave, the more good deeds you have to do to make it. When it reaches critical mass, cowabunga, you surf right into heaven, man. Now I'm becoming a hippie. So music starts playing and the camera starts shaking and moving closer while wave sounds are playing while Grandpa's on the board. Jack has never seen anyone need a wave this big before. You need and I quote,
you want to re-say it?
do you have the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
I had to listen to this, no joke, roughly 8 times to get the entire thing.
Really? I listened to it twice. If I got the whole thing, let's see if I got the whole thing. He says, you need a super radical, ripping bonsai, tubular, filthy pig.
Yep. That confuses Grandpa even more than the wax. That's surfer talk for beyond humongous, man. Old dude with your gnarly background, it's a good thing the ocean has a lot of water. The lingual digs that he's giving to Grandpa during this whole thing, it makes him kind of endearing, but also I hate him still. So we cut to Lily polishing the stairs, I think is what she's doing. Marilyn and Eddie rush in to tell her how Grandpa has lost his mind. Lily makes a mom joke of it rolling under the couch. Myke.
Hold on, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So this episode came out 8 months after Robbie did the original Ninja Turtle movie. Just a heads up with that.
That's correct. Do you think who produced that? Could he have been filming around that same lot and they're like, oh, perfect, we want him for an episode?
Oh, I mean, the first movie was a independent film.
Oh, so they didn't film on the studio?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was New Line that like did this stuff. Production company. Let's see. Because this was on Universal a lot. This one here. The Turtle movie, it was shot a lot on location too. There was a lot of location stuff that they did. Well, I mean, I guess not really. Movie has involved a variety of studios, filmmakers, and locations.
Well, okay, so he did the voice though. Where did he record that? Should be where we're asking.
Oh, that I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if someone may have heard him and we're like, we want to do an episode. We think you're perfect.
No clue.
But
I'm sure it says it in the credits somewhere. Nickelodeon.
I just wanted to note the mom joke for the audience because Myke does that all the time to everyone.
It says Nickelodeon, but that could just be the new stuff.
Nickelodeon.
Voice the Turtles. Oh no, yeah, this is like the Nickelodeon stuff. It doesn't say. Yeah. That sucks. Because Turtles has gone through a bunch of different studios and stuff, and back then, before like the rights were purchased and all that stuff. Yeah.
Nickelodeon has pretty much had a monopoly on the TV rights, though. Which I mean, they get a lot of return on investment, so why would you trust anyone else?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the kids are serious though. Like they saw him at the mall surf shop trying on wetsuits and talking to himself. Herman rushes in at that moment asking for a straitjacket. He wants to put Grandpa in it. Lily asks what did he do to make Herman think he's crazy? I so wanted him to say nothing. I just want to put him in it, but no, it turns out not to be the response.
That would be a Grandpa response, not a Herman response.
I feel like Herman would do that too, just because.
Yeah.
Turns out Grandpa cooked him his favorite breakfast, legs of Benedict.
But that wasn't even the worst part.
No. He took a nap. Grandpa fortified all his stitching, including his butt. Which sounds pretty creepy, not going to lie.
Yeah.
And Lily's like, look, he had a shock last night, okay? He's weird, but not crazy.
He had a scare last night. He may be in shock, but he's not crazy. And then Grandpa walks through the door with his angel walking right behind him. And this is when they mention in open, hey, only you can see me, dude.
Yeah, don't talk to me. You'll think it's weird, which I'm skipping ahead a little bit. Grandpa immediately forgets. So Grandpa tells them he just donated blood to the Red Cross. 7 pints.
Saint Grandpa, that's what they'll be calling you soon, dude.
Since he was drinking so much for so long, it's the least he could do.
Yeah.
Is this going to result in a vampire outbreak, by the way?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was like, he just literally killed everyone and spread the virus, right?
Yeah. Is this going to turn into Strain?
Which, if you think about that, why haven't they ever done that in a vampire movie?
Strain.
Given what's Strain?
It's that book by Guillermo del Toro. And I forget the other author's name, but they co-wrote it. And it's basically what if vampires, but zombie apocalypse.
Really?
It's really interesting. I only read the first one. I think there's 3. They did a TV show on it. And also there's a comic. Dark Horse made a comic adaptation.
Okay. I'll have to check that out.
It's good.
Yeah.
Jack then laughs. And Herman reacts to him, which makes Lily concerned. Grandpa just tells her he feels radical, dudette. The kids are extremely confused by this term. He then talks to Jack about how big his wave is now as he heads to the basement, which definitely won't look weird, seeing as only half the conversation can be seen by everyone else.
Yeah.
This episode was a lot, man.
It was heavy.
It's tubular. Lily and Marilyn are spying on who can I only assume is Grandpa in the kitchen when Herman comes shouting into the house, scaring all 3 of them. There are 800 gray uniformed soldiers circling the house, and at first I thought the Confederacy was back, but and Herman was about to go to war, which would be an incredible story turn. But no, they're convicts, which explains the ball and chain Herman saw. You gotta lead with that info, dude.
And Grandpa's making them all lunch, so they're just circling the house. Who let these people here?
Why isn't he at the prison doing this?
like who let these people here? Just why?
And I do want to point out that I think it's the first 90s movie during the family get together at Halloween, or maybe that was the second one.
Mm-hmm.
There is a Confederate soldier among the family.
Yeah.
So there is a connection in that joke.
Well, you think there's not any in Herman when they needed spare parts later down the line?
I mean, I guess it depends how long they've been in California. There's probably a lot of Spanish.
I would just say how long they've been in America.
That's what I mean.
Not just
did they
California.
Migrate out?
Maybe.
Or did
Maybe
they settle there
in...
and start preying on the Spanish and French.
The Munsters in New York would be freaking wild. No one would even care.
No, honestly, if you have never been to New York, sorry about that. Look up all the weird stuff that happens on the subway. People do not care anymore. Not just the subway, the streets. Like there was a there was a YouTube channel I used to follow called About That though, where they would just New York.
Mm-hmm.
Where they would just play random clips of stuff that happened. They also had a Just Florida segment for you, Myke. Yeah, the stuff that goes on there is weird. Like they had green flame coming out of their sewers a couple weeks ago.
But no.
But yeah. So
look, the green flame was probably like what the drones were actually looking for
in New Jersey.
In Jersey, yeah, they were following it. So
we got an evolution problem going on here. That's a great movie, by the way, if anyone hasn't seen that.
That's an awesome one.
So yeah, Herman asked why Grandpa's doing this stuff, and apparently Grandpa had an off-screen explanation to Lily that I thought was in confidence, but then turns out the whole family knows.
Now
Lily thinks he's bat crazy and doesn't care to keep it a secret. Herman nods and then grabs the phone.
Well, Lily's explanation to them is Grandpa's doing all these things. He has a guardian angel named Jack who's helping him make a wave large enough to surf into heaven. And Herman's like,
okay,
I'm calling out. He walks straight to the phone, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm gonna get the number to the psychiatrist for electroshock therapy."
Yeah, he still believes in electroshock, and I'm like, "That's real dark. That's real dark."
Yeah,
considering what we used to do in insane asylums, like, oof.
I think Grandpa would like it though.
Oh, Herman would love it.
Yeah.
The classic Grandpa's favorite chair was literally an electric chair.
Yeah. Wasn't that what Leonard sits in now?
I think so. So Lily rips the phone away and Herman agrees. It's too expensive anyway. He'll go to the garage and hook up the car battery. So Grandpa and Jack then come out wearing aprons and grab more bowls. Marilyn asks how it's going. Jack tells him to say he's totally stoking aggro to the max, totally humanitarian.
Yeah, most humanitarian.
Grandpa's apron says gnarly cook. Grandpa then translate that according to Jack, he will be hanging 10 anytime now.
Yeah.
He then starts talking surfer lingo, and Lily just thinks he's talking about eating too much pork. Herman nicely asked Grandpa to come for a little chat, probably in the garage. That's the only thing I was missing from that line is, Grandpa, can we have a nice chat in the garage? Which this establishes they have a garage.
Yeah. I mean, in the original series, they did too.
That's what I'm saying. They kept it.
Yeah.
Grandpa would love to, but he has a plane ticket to pick up for Calcutta. He's going to finish the work Mother Teresa started. Then after that, he's off to a monastery to talk to the Dalai Lama. Ooh, this episode never aired in China. Then back to America for a chat with the president to request stricter gun control laws.
And then I'm trying to figure out which god is he trying to appease to.
All of them. Cover your bases. Lily agrees that bats have left Grandpa's beltry at this point, and Eddie does a flying away motion with his hands. Lily thought it was in real poor taste and just glares at him as we fade to commercial.
Yeah. So then we come back and the family besides Grandpa is in the lab. they're just using his stuff without asking.
Yeah, I'm sure he loves that.
Like if I walked home and someone was just like using my stuff and they didn't even ask me, that wasn't even around or present, I'd be freaking losing my shit.
Oh yeah. And yeah, so they're like they're trying to come up with a plan to stop Grandpa from leaving. And Herman had a great idea. He wrote up a fake resume for a job. Grandpa cannot resist insulting Herman after will not be able to resist insulting Herman after reading all these wonderful things he said about himself. Grandpa comes down wondering what they're all up to, and you can sense the annoyance in his voice, but he doesn't say it.
Yeah.
He also doesn't care because he begins packing his bags.
This is when they really try to get Grandpa to like take some jabs at Herman.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's like, please read my resume for my job. Like, I'm going for a vice president position at a microwave cremation company. And Grandpa doesn't care at first until hearing the job title, vice president.
And he wants to say something really, really mean.
Oh yeah. Eddie makes a jab. He's like, Grandpa, can you believe a simple grave digger thinks he could run a company? And Grandpa laughs before getting serious and telling Eddie that he does, and his lack of respect towards his own father is unsettling. Do they want the old Grandpa back? Like,
they're trying really hard. Better. Yeah.
Vice president isn't good enough for this man. He can, the man he considers a founder of modern burial science. He should go for president. And Herman is so inspired as Grandpa tells him how he sees stiffs come in as all lifeless, and Herman transforms them into works of art. He's a self-guru for the recently deceased. Herman's like, you're right. I graduated from 6 universities after all, and points to his
resume. Yeah. Then Lily runs over. He's like, the people you were built from earned those degrees, not you.
Which we learned from a past episode. Does it matter? They're all part of him.
Yeah. And this is when Grandpa pipes up. She's like, Lily, why are you being like that? I never heard you complain about his muscles coming from Count Schwarzenegger. So wait, did they kill Arnold and is he
or one of Arnold's ancestors?
Oh boy.
Grandpa grabs it and tells Herman he will proof it on the plane and send it back with his personal reference from Gandhi.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I mentioned this resume is as big as a phone book, but it's huge.
Grandpa leaves, and then Herman is like really going about it. He's like, man, I'm sure I'll to get this job. And Lily pipes up.
A reference from the first family of India? Is that a thing? Is this Fantastic Four?
Lily pipes up and she's like, Herman, wake up. There is no job. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah.
The look of defeat on his face. Like, dude, go for a real job now then. You got the confidence. Go.
Yeah.
Take Gateman. Take him down.
So as Grandpa's leaving, Jack pops back up and he's got some news.
Yeah, he's been talking to his superiors. His calculations were slightly off. You mean it'll take longer? I don't know how to tell you this. So we're just going to say he's going points down to the ground.
He's like, no matter how good you are, you will never get into heaven.
Yeah. Not even if he did every good deed left on earth. And I'm like, what is this? The good place system?
Yeah.
Like, Grandpa is devastated. And Jack feels awful. He wanted nothing more than help Grandpa ride his filthy pig up to heaven, casting his swine before the pearly gates. That sounds so wrong. Grandpa begs Jack to help him perform a miracle. Mm-hmm. Jack just tells him he can't and teleports away. Grandpa.
So this is where I have some issues with a lot of this, because the whole thing is about Grandpa getting into heaven based on being a good person or good deeds and stuff like that.
Well,
And go on.
yeah. Let me just. Grandpa addresses the wave maker. You can't just
Yeah.
cut him off like this. It's not fair. And
Yeah.
I literally have in my notes. I'm like, I have so many comments on this that I really don't. I don't want to address and make people mad.
I don't really care. But like, no, like, it's not just about being a good person. When we've already established that there is a devil in this universe, so that they means there is a God. They're talking about heaven, which is the Christian heaven, not any other good place or whatever you want to consider it, because every religion that does believe in like an afterlife has their own version of stuff. I understand that Hollywood probably just uses heaven because it's the most notable one. Go on.
Is this like Marvel in DC, where all the religions are correct and they exist together?
Maybe. But even so, they're talking about just straight up heaven in this episode.
Yeah.
So they're not talking about going to, like
Valhalla.
he's going to hell or heaven, not like Valhalla or like going into Hades and stuff like that. So he's one or the other, and they've already established the devil, so therefore the God. And they've also actually talked about other aspects of the Christian religion within the Munsters today. We've heard some stuff of it. What?
I don't know why, but there's a species in D&D that their version of hell is literally a cave where they just punch each other all the time, just 24/7.
Yeah.
That's.
But I just want to point out the fact that we do this a lot in TV and movies. It's like, if you're a good human being, you'll go to heaven. It's not true. You can be a great human being, but if you don't have the faith archetype that a lot of religions have built into them, Christian, Muslim, whatever,
Gatekeepers.
if you don't have like an actual belief and faith in something, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter at all. Like, you can be a great human being. You can be the best human being and not go to heaven. You can be the worst human being and get into heaven. It's kind of like one of those things that's always on debate too, within like the religions of all religions too. Because I mean, look at, like, there's some religions where it's like, hey, if you go and do this and you kill all these people, we'll let you into heaven. You'll get like 20 virgins and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay,
Are you gonna kill 20 virgins?
right? How do the virgins get there? Like, are they men or are they women? Like,
Yeah, and what you just brought up is one of my biggest contentions with organized religion.
well, it's not even just organized religion in general. It's just the scripture. That's what scripture says in whether you're reading a Christian Bible, a Mormon Bible, whether you're reading the Quran, whether you're reading all these other things, which I have all of them on one of these shelves. Like, no matter what, there's always some sort of, you have to have a belief, because what's the point if you're just a good human being? There needs to be a belief for you, like that. I understand the thinking on it, as far as like, well, if I'm a good human being, what does it matter what I believe in? I understand that, because there are, like, me and you have talked about it. I've had lots of conversations with different heads of churches and stuff like that about certain aspects. So I understand what you're thinking is.
Yeah, well,
with
my point with the organized is that they're more dogmatic about that stuff than less grouped together people.
Yeah, and a lot of people also forget a lot of religion, and this is why I tried to study as much as I could back in the day, because a lot of like any like Christian religion is pretty much a sprout from Catholicism. So there's always like, some of them are very they still use words and things, not the exact theology, but different ceremonies that
Mhm.
are pretty much the exact same. I had an issue with something that a church did that I was like, wow, this is really Catholic, and I'm not Catholic. Like, why are we? I'm not going to do this, and I didn't do it because I'm not a sheep. So I'm just not. I have my own set of standards for my own self, and that's how that is.
Mhm.
But like, I have a friend who he ended up going to a Lutheran church in his area, and like, there's different denominations of all these groups too. But he went, and there was like a thing that they read out, and within it, it says to that I something about faith within the Catholic Church instead of just saying Christian. It said, literally said the word Catholic in it. I'm like, y'all aren't Catholic, you're Lutheran. And Luther left the Catholic Church. So why are you still using the Catholic word? Like, why are you're literally saying that? Anyways, the point is, for me watching this episode, like, I've watched tons of shows that talk about like heaven, go into heaven, be a good person, go into hell because you're a bad person, things like that. I understand the base easy concept, but it's also a misconception to a lot of people who are religious and are like, well, I'm actually a good person, so I don't need this, or I don't need to read the book, or I don't need these things in my life because outside of religion, I'm a great person. And it can, depending on your belief system, it can hurt you. That's all I'm going to say. Because every belief system has their own thing. Like I said, even the Muslims, there's lots of different ones that believe in like a heaven and hell type of scenario, and they all have the same theme of, have, if you Google them, it's always going to say be a good person. But if you actually read the scriptures from these different religions, or books that they're sprouted from, they are always going to be like, have faith within the God that you're worshiping. Anyways, it's why we do a lot of movies where it's like, if there's a demon, the demon wants you to worship it because it gets its power from your worship and your belief in it, kind of thing. They have
Power of
movies
a
that,
name.
yeah, they have movies and stuff like that nowadays where it's like, we get power from you praising us, from you believing in us, and it's usually to like an evil entity or whatever. But I'm like, if that's the case for that entity, what do you think it is for an entity that's not evil? It's the same thing.
So I'm gonna go on a little tangent here, and I'm gonna talk about some news from 2
Uh-oh.
years ago. Uh, no, did you hear about the woman who was praying to a Buddha statue that turned out to be Shrek?
No, I did not. But I
Yeah.
have seen several where they've people have replaced photos in like their grandparents' house and stuff
Oh,
of
Jesus with
Jesus
Kenobi.
with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, that's a funny one.
I just feel so bad for this lady because for 4 years, she thought she was praying to Buddha and it was Shrek.
Well, the Catholic Church recently, like within the last year or two, they brought in like, I'm gonna say, false god to their religion, because it was like a statue of I think it was some like Islamic god or something. I don't remember
Oh,
exactly what
no.
it was.
Not one that's not supposed to have an image, right?
No.
Okay, good.
No, it was a statue of a god from another religion, and they took this into the Vatican, and the Pope was worshiping it and having other people worship it. I'm like, you're literally diminishing your entire religion, whether you believe in Catholicism or not. Doing that takes away from everything you're teaching. Like, what are you doing? Like, these groups of people, they do stuff, and it's just like, you're taking away from the entire point. You're hurting yourself.
Someone has to have made like a religious themed museum out there, right? Like kind of like a Hall of Fame, but like ancient statues and stuff.
Well, I mean, you go to Rome and they have that, because you have the
Aren't they
Vatican
just
there.
out though?
What?
Aren't they just out though? They're not like gathered in a building.
Well, it depends. So like there are museums there in Rome with like and in other cities within Italy. Or are they cities or states or I don't within Italy. They have like museums and stuff like that where there are ancient like Greek and Roman statues, whatever was left over, because when the Romans took over, they destroyed a lot of that stuff in the first place. But yeah, there's a lot of that stuff still around here and there. But the Vatican has like a lot of pieces within it, at least the areas that you're allowed to tour, because you can't just go into the Vatican. Like there's the Vatican Museum section. You can't just go up into like in the movies. I don't remember what movie, like Euro Trip, I think it was, or something, where they were like in the Pope's like room. And I was like, guys, you can't do that. Like you're not getting there.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
No.
No, do you remember Euro Trip?
Very brief, very vaguely. That actress who just passed away is in it.
Yeah, Michelle Trachtenberg. But the thing in that one was like they went into the room and something accidentally caught on fire, so they threw it into the fire thing, which let the smoke out.
Yes.
And people thought the Pope was dead, and then like another smoke came out, and they were like, "Oh, the new Pope is already picked already. Holy crap, this is so fast!" And then the guy falls out with the curtain on him and stuff like that. Yeah, and everyone thinks he's the new Pope.
I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's
National Lampoon. And I think I've said before, I'm not very religious. I believe you should just be a good person, and if that's not enough, then they didn't deserve my time to begin with. So.
I get you, man. Yeah, everyone has their own way of looking at it and stuff, but it's just like when you study these things and you have to, when you know the different outcomes, yeah.
We're gonna have to get you a little theme because I think this has come up quite a few times on here. Mike's Religious Corner. Don't actually do that. That'd be weird. But anyway, so we time skip to an undetermined amount of time later. Lily is very worried about Grandpa. He's been so depressed that he can't ride his surfboard to heaven that he won't eat, sleep, and hasn't taken any blood baths in weeks.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't even hear what you said earlier when you said something about we need to get me something.
Oh, I said we need to get you a little jingle for Mike's Religious Corner because I think this has come up on a few episodes now.
Oh. I mean, I'm not even getting into depth. I'm just saying base.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And I don't want to. Listeners, I don't want to be that guy who brings it on to people.
It's a passion of his. So, like I said, he went to school and studied this stuff.
It annoys my wife because I have 3 Bibles. They're all different. And so what I do is I examine like not 3 different religion Bibles, like 3 different Christian Bibles right now. And I go through and look at the same verse in each version to see the differences, to see how much has changed throughout each one. Because like when the King James version of the Bible came out, a lot of it was like about respecting the government and stuff like that because a king had done that crap. So yeah, there was a lot more government control within that version than older versions.
If I get a Bible with like sneak some stuff in there, is that considered heresy? Just to see how long it takes you to find it?
It wouldn't take me that long.
I mean, they're pretty thick books.
Yeah, but I've read the Bible like front to back like 3 or 4 times complete. And I'm not even.
What if I just change there to there?
Oh, dude, I've read the very first English translation of the Bible, and that's very, very, very old English. It's the Geneva Bible.
I couldn't even get through the Hobbit, so.
Well, the Geneva Bible, it's like very old, broke English, and if you are like dyslexic or just like you can read like how people text nowadays, like and they miss letters and stuff like that, you can read this easily.
That annoys me so much. What did you do with the 3 seconds you just saved? Just type the word out.
Instead of YOU, it's you. Or your and your, they're 2 different ones. Add an E maybe, because it's completely different than without the E. Anyways, this is not an English class. So yeah, Grandpa's all depressed.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get
Herman,
people running downstairs, so I got.
Herman's like, did you forget this was all in his mind? And Lily's like, the way he's been acting, I'm starting to think it was all real.
Yeah.
Grandpa comes up from the lab, the most disheveled I've ever seen him.
Yeah,
He's in a bathrobe and his hair is all over the place.
it's like this. I just
For
put the
audio
image on the screen.
listeners, Mike posted an image of both Grandpa disheveled and Jack the Angel.
With his
That's a
Captain
very good
America
quality
hat.
image too. Yes, yes. So Lily tells him that she made his favorite poison oak pancakes. Who cares about that when I know what's waiting for me on the other side? Unbearable heat, watered down blood, and the devil playing Alvin and the Chipmunks over and over and over.
But see, if you know that's your outcome, why wouldn't you just take advantage of living your life then instead of being a recluse?
Mm-hmm.
Like you might as well have fun now, and if you know that's the ultimate outcome, anyways.
Let's pump the brakes on. Don't have too much fun now.
Well, no, like he shouldn't just be sitting around watching freaking Netflix all day in his basement. Like, come on, like go out and do something
I
and
think
live
you
your
mean
life.
Fatflix.
And if you're so worried about the heat, maybe don't live in California. Go to Alaska
Tinder
for a
box.
little bit. Yeah.
Uh,
Take in
yes,
the cold while you can.
Herman says that's not so. That does not sound so bad when it's like compared to what he has to do tonight. He has to take one of his boss's obnoxious mothers to the opera.
Mama Gateman.
Like, dude. Eddie says Mrs. Gateman isn't that fat.
When Mama
Herm
Gateman goes into McDonald's for lunch, people gather outside to watch the numbers change.
Yeah, he does a fat mama joke. I'm like, good Lord.
I don't really necessarily understand the number change thing, but it's funny just because it sounds so stupid.
I can only imagine probably surge pricing before we had regulations put in place that will probably soon disappear.
I thought they stopped doing that. They started surge pricing again anyways. A lot of those places.
So yeah, I think it depends.
Certain hours of the day. Yeah.
Well, Wendy's tried and people revolted and they're like, okay, no, we won't do that. Please don't.
Yeah.
Please come to our stores. We're barely operating as it is.
They have to wait until everybody else does it first. Like once McDonald's does it, then Wendy's can do it and not get as much heat.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anyways,
I tell you what, since that owner passed away, whoever's taken over Wendy's is really like oof.
Well, isn't Wendy's just like McDonald's where it's franchisable too?
Yeah,
So
but they're very heavily influencing what their franchisees can do.
yeah. Well, that's every franchise does that nowadays.
Except for McDonald's, who are just like, do whatever, we make money.
So they ask Herman afterwards. They say, "Well, why doesn't he just take her to the show?" And he's like, "Well, he doesn't know how to drive a forklift."
Lily's like, it's only for a few hours.
I have no problem with fat jokes because fat jokes and skinny jokes and gay jokes and straight jokes, they're all just jokes. Everybody is made liable to be made fun of, Tivis.
Yeah, but if they're bad jokes, they're bad jokes. Fat Thor is funny.
Fat Thor is depressing. Like that's not
but
funny.
Also
that's
funny
depressing
because it's got reality in it.
that's depressing.
I love Fat Thor. I'm a fat guy who loves Fat Thor. All you people out there telling Marvel that they shouldn't have done that, shut up.
They don't understand his torture. Then that was part of his torture. Was he lost everything, including his figure.
And there was some great jokes at his expense. Anyway,
He lost his family. He lost his dad or his mom, his dad, his brother, then his people,
His
then
home.
his home. Or no, he lost his home, then his people, and then his figure because he lost all that other stuff. He lost against Thanos. He lost against all these other things. And then it's like
He gets made fun of by a guy who works at Apple.
he
Or no, wait,
lost
that was
his
Korg.
he lost his self-respect. He lost his Thor is like the saddest person ever in the universe because he lost everything
Hey,
and
he's
then
got
still
a
came
daughter
back.
now.
Yeah. Well, he came back and got everything.
Well, not everything. He lost the love of his life to cancer. So,
Oh, and he lost his hammer
he got it back.
for a little bit.
No, it's still there.
Oh, yeah. He had it at the end of that one. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Lily's like, it's only a few hours. Yeah, a few hours on the same night as a championship softball game.
Yeah.
It's like,
You there?
we're into spring. Apparently, show we're in spring if the ball softball the champs. We're in. Yeah, I'm here. That was weird.
Okay. You cut out around talking
just
about
do
the
that
softball
again.
game. Yeah.
A few hours on the same night as the championship softball game. So I'm so confused on where this season currently is because now we're like in late fall if baseball and softball are wrapping up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
Lily asked if he told. Go ahead.
This episode came out in November, so
Yeah, but we had one that took place in February, like 2 weeks ago.
which one took place in February?
The Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. No, that wasn't the Super Bowl. No. They weren't at the Super Bowl yet. It was the game to go to the Super Bowl.
Said the Super Bowl.
Mm-mm.
Even still, that would make it late or midwinter.
He said it was one of the biggest games of the year because it was this and this, but it was for them. And then he said something about I don't want my clothes washed because the Super Bowl is coming up at the end.
I thought he said he didn't want his clothes washed for next season.
No. It's for the Super Bowl coming up. Yeah.
Do I have to go consult my notes?
You can go consult whatever you want. It doesn't change the fact that, he said it at the end of the show. Anyway, yeah, so go on. I don't remember where we're at. Oh, the softball game.
Yeah. So, yeah. Lily asked if he told Gateman that he already had plans. He's like, yeah, I was given a choice. Opera or unemployment office. That is so illegal.
Isn't that? Yeah, because they're unionized too.
Yeah.
As we've previously learned. So good luck.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So the end of that football one, he's literally talking about next season because he also says, could you bring the baby again next year?
I think I said next game. I think your notes are wrong.
Next year.
I'm going to go back and look.
Go ahead. Why did I say that like that? That was weird.
He Grandpa asked, like he wants to take you out into the corn. Hey, little boy.
Don't go down that way. Bad things happen that way.
As he's rubbing his belly button.
Grandpa asks if Herman really wants to play softball that night. He's like, yeah, it's the biggest game of the year. And Grandpa says, well, go play. I'll take Mama Gateman to the opera. And the kids look at each other shocked. I know what it's like to really want something and then have it snatched away from you. No reason for you to be disappointed like me. Herman thanks him, and then the house shakes as Jack teleports in for all to see.
Surfing.
He then immediately goes to start flirting with Marilyn. Grandpa asks what he's doing there. Jack tells him that he totally did it, dude. He made a super radical, ripping bonsai tubular filthy pig.
How old
Grandpa-
was Marilyn's actress at this point?
Well, we have to assume this was filmed in either 89 or 90.
I'm just gonna say 90. We'll say 90. But how old? What year was she born? How about that?
I don't think it's listed. Hilary Van Dyke. Yeah, it's not listed here. Hilary Van Dyke age. Nope, that's Dick Van Dyke.
Hold on. October 1970.
So she's in her
Right.
20s.
Yeah, because he was born like just a few years, 6
So
years.
19 or 20.
He's 6 years older than her, so she's 20 and he's 26.
All right.
Okay.
It's starting
That's
to
not
get
bad.
in that strange territory, but yeah, it's not terrible.
Okay. I was curious because they have him get up real close and stuff.
Plus, they're trying to make him look a lot younger than
Younger.
he is.
Yeah.
So Grandpa's like, "What are you doing here?" You did it. Grandpa's confused. Jack explains that taking the bullet for Herman was what did it. Grandpa's even more confused, as it's not even a big deal. And Jack's like, "That's it. That single act was the most genuine and good one he's ever done in his entire life. All the
You
good before
messed-
was..."
Go on.
Oh, uh-oh.
You missed the perfect line. Jack
Okay.
called him Vampa.
Well, yeah.
Which
He's like-
Vampa needs put on a shirt with Grandpa's picture on it.
All the good deeds you did before was so that you would get into heaven. So by doing them, you kind of defeated the purpose. But doing this one thing with knowing you wouldn't get there was the most righteous thing you could ever do. And I love this messaging. Do it to do it, not because you have to.
Right. And I like that one too, because it does set precedent for, hey, you don't do these things just to get a reward.
Yeah.
There's no reason that in itself is a selfish act, which therefore, again, within certain religions, selfishness is a sin. And then that means nothing because you're just being selfish. However, there are parts too where like certain people will do things that benefit other people, like donating to charities and stuff like that, even though that in a business selfish way they're getting a huge tax cut for it. But what comes first, their selfishness or the fact that they helped a really good cause too at the same time? So it's kind of like one of those things with certain things like that. You got to weigh the good to the selfishness, you know. But and that happens a lot more often than people think. A lot of people, because like things like with the wildfires lately and stuff like that, people went out and got clout and stuff like that by doing it, but they were also raising awareness at the same time. They were benefiting, but at the same time they were also helping benefit those affected. So there are situations where it's like your selfish acts are also good acts. Same time, if that makes sense, you know.
Yeah, we were talking about that in personal text just the other day. My belief, as long as you have a net positive, even if you're doing it for selfish reasons, I'm okay with, like, take Mr. Beast, for example. People hate that he does all this, you know, philanthropy for all the attention and money and, you know, clicks and stuff. But at the end of the day, people's lives are improved because of it. So whatever.
Right. So, yeah. Cool. I mean, the same thing can also be said too about, like, I know like your preference or your footing within like religion and stuff like that. but there's also like a good section of that where it's helped a lot of people. It's helped people come out of depressions. It's helped people come out of alcoholism, sex addiction, all these different things. So there is like good and bad to take from it, but I think that the good outweighs the bad in today's society with it, because we did have like the Crusades and shit like that. So like,
And also very, very bad priests.
yeah.
Yeah. Not going to get YouTube on us this week.
We see you in the mirror behind us.
Galactus? But yeah, so yeah, I love this messaging that they just said. Unfortunately, they're going to undercut it with something I hate here in a second.
Yeah.
Grandpa can't believe all it took was doing one little favor for Herman. Herman assures him he will not find it so little when he meets her. Jack tells him to look at it this way. How many people have done something good, not expecting anything back? He then teleports in the surfboard with a sash for Grandpa that says, Grandpa Dude.
Grandpa Dude.
Jack now hereby declares by the power invested in him into him by way cool angels, that Grandpa Vladimir, the land shark of love, shall be hereby granted access to heaven when and if he dies. He shall be given all the privileges there, which include but are not limited to all you can eat seafood buffet, free sunblock, and hundreds of surfer chicks in really skimpy bikinis. Dude. Now,
Holy.
that doesn't sound very righteous, Jack. Eddie gets his perv on and starts asking the surfer dude about waxing Grandpa's board up there for him.
Sounds very Muslim to me, actually. Just
I was gonna say that sounds pretty bad euphemism there for Eddie. Jack gives him a laugh that is so out of place in response and points at him that I have to stop for several minutes to stop myself from laughing. Like, I don't know what it was that just happened in that scene, but
yeah,
it's like Eddie becomes pervert. He's like, ha ha.
He tries to be like a surfer dude kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he then gives Fangman a cap with wings like his, but it's white instead of the blue one that he wears with,
that's
Captain
the
America.
KKK Captain America.
Yeah, oh no. Even Hydra cap was green. So
well, this is all white, so it's a KKK Captain America. AK Captain America with a K.
Grandpa is so ecstatic. Herman always knew he was a righteous dude, and then asked Jack if he's going to heaven no matter what. Or Grandpa asked if he's going to heaven no matter what now. Oh no, I do not love this messaging. Because Jack tells him, go for it. He turns to smirk at Herman as we get it, not a freeze frame, but the credits start appearing over top of him.
And this messaging too also has hold within the Christian religion too, because most Christians believe that as long as you have faith in Jesus and God as your savior, you'll go to heaven no matter what. Like, there's a lot of things where it's like Dahmer is in heaven because he did his faith and everything like that. So it's like he got to go to heaven even after all the evil deeds. Now, granted, I don't know if he did evil stuff after he came to his faith or whatever, but then there are a lot of people that are like, well, I was an evil person, I come to my faith, I'm saved no matter what, and then they still do horrible things. And then the whole idea is it doesn't really matter because you're still going to heaven because of your faith. And that's where
Kevin
this
Smith dogma.
Yeah, the dogmatic rule and stuff like that. So that's where this part here is. I don't like this. I don't like that necessarily too within Christian religion, because I feel like you can have your faith. Yeah, you could be a good person, you could be a bad person, whatever, but you should strive to be better, because you technically, if you read like a Christian Bible, you want to strive to be more of a godly like person. which we're seeing like all over social media with a lot of different things going on right now, just in the States, people posting certain things and stuff like that. But it's like you should, you can have your faith, but you should also follow the rest of that book that God gave you as a guide, to live your life like that. That's literally what the Bible is like, considered like a guide from God to how to live your life. Not here's what you can do if you want to, but if you have faith, then you just go to heaven anyways. That's that to me. My look at it is have your faith, but also follow this guide to the best of your ability. Yeah. Don't have your faith and then go out and like bang 10 prostitutes and go kill somebody, stuff like that. Like
I didn't expect that sentence.
So yeah, with this is like one act of purity saves Grandpa for his entire existence is kind of his ridiculous.
Possible immortal life.
Yeah. It's kind of like I think they did it in Constantine, the movie with Keanu Reeves, where it was it's been
so long since I saw that, but I remember loving it.
Well, with the Constantine Keanu Reeves movie, it was like he had sold his soul to the devil. Great movie too, actually. Not the best Constantine, but it was still a good movie.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is awesome and everything, but
Matt Ryan superior. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Keanu Reeves had the black hair too. It was John Wick fighting demons.
Also missing the bread. Yeah, it was. It really was.
But with that movie, it was like he sold his soul to the devil. Like the devil had owned his soul. So the second John Constantine died, the devil would get his soul. So what Constantine did to get the devil onto the to the earthly plane was he killed himself, so that the devil would come for him to see what was going on. But in doing that and killing himself to save this person that was in front of him, it was like he won his spot in heaven, because it was like a selfless act of giving yourself up, knowing that you're going straight to hell because your soul is sold already. And he was supposed to go to heaven. And then that's when, like in that movie, the devil like pulls all the crap out of him, saves his life because he wants his soul. So, but that's the kind of the same premise of like you did one good deed, so that therefore saves your entire like existence purely. So, and I don't necessarily agree with that completely.
Yeah.
So there's elements, but and then again, it just depends on how you lived your life beforehand. Like if you were a horrible person and then you suddenly changed your, like did like a Darth Vader thing and just threw your master over the board and killed him, does Darth Vader go to heaven for that one good deed, or does he still go to hell? Or technically, I guess they whatever the Jedis believed in, he
the Force.
He went into the Force. He ascended into the Force rather than whatever the Sith have. I don't even know.
Also the Force.
Is it just like are they just red instead of blue then?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that what it's? I didn't know. To be honest, because they've never shown like a dead Sith, have they?
Only in expanded material, like video games and stuff.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyways, that was my thought on this whole like Grandpa's saved because of the one good deed. I was like,
And much like Constantine in real life, everyone left watching after you're gone is left with a cliffhanger. God, they need to make that sequel. Yeah. Anyway, let's get this final scene out of the way.
Final scene
because it's creepy.
So Surfer Angel Jack comes and he's like hanging out in front of the Munsters house, and he's like talking to the surfer gods. Like,
great wave maker.
Great wave maker, man. Can you help me out with this Marilyn babe? Yeah, she's the most awesome blonde dudette.
She's a teenager.
Well, technically, I think he's supposed to be a teenager too, or somewhere around there.
He's an angel, so he's timeless.
He's an angel. He's probably like ancient.
Yeah, that's like Wolverine hitting on 18-year-olds. It's still creepy as can be.
Wait, what?
Leave Jean Grey alone.
What? When was this?
Dude, the X-Men are like still in their early 20s when Logan joins.
Oh yeah. I got you, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's hot, so that's fine, I guess, right?
No, he's not.
He's a
He's
short
a
man.
4-foot hairy Canadian man.
He's short,
No
so
offense, Canadians.
the short guys get a pass, I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyways, so then Marilyn steps out, and after he did his like plead and prayer to the surfer gods, and she comes out, and he does a lot of movement and talks a lot, and she does not talk at all.
No,
And
he wants to express his love with the most
yeah.
awesome of gifts.
And he gives her the gift. And what's the gift, Tivis?
A skimpy leopard bikini. I hate this. I hate this so much. He asks if it's too small.
She says, no, it's weird. It's too weird. He's like, well, what do you mean? She's like, we don't even know you, and you're giving me a leopard bikini? Like, well, in did you write any of those down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
The
go
first
ahead.
step in a serious relationship in heaven is to give each other leopard bikinis. Are we positive this dude is an angel?
And then what? And then help him put it on.
Yeah. In the most perviest of perv voices.
And then Marilyn does what any woman in this situation should do. She left as soon as she could.
She shoves it back into his hands without saying a word, and just
walks away. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cringy.
I mean, yeah. I think wearing the yellow shirt here was kind of like, I could picture this being Michelangelo hitting on April.
Mm-hmm. Just
anyways, that's the end there. And we freeze frame on Robbie Wrist, or Jack the Angel, surfer dude angel, putting his hands up in the air, looking up to the heavens, being like, oh man, what did I do? I screwed up. Yeah. Anyways,
I hated
that's
that
the
ending.
end. You hated that ending? That was an awesome ending, though. Not really. All right, so final thoughts. I'll go first.
Okay.
Unless
I can't remember.
Okay. So I thought the episode was fun. It was filled with a lot of craziness. There were some cringe moments, of course, especially with Marilyn. And then all the heaven hell stuff, I think I've expressed that throughout this episode. I thought, though, for knowing what the show is projecting and doing, they did a decent job, minus that last part where it's like, you did the one good deed, so you're good. But as far as like showing it, like Grandpa's trying so hard and doing these things purposefully, and it's not working, was actually a pretty cool little step, because it's like, no matter what you do, is if you're not like there within your heart, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that was a cool little aspect to add to this show, which I didn't actually think they would have done. I thought it was just going to be Grandpa earns his way into heaven by doing all this stupid, crazy stuff, or it doesn't matter because Grandpa's granted immortality forever again, or something, something like that. But the fact that they added that in, where it's like, oh no, you're just going straight to hell because everything you're doing not from the bottom of your heart, but you're actually doing it out of the selfishness of your heart to save your own skin. And then when they come back and Grandpa does this selfless act for Herman to be able to do what he wants, therefore it works. However, my thing is, now that he did that act of saying it, does he actually follow through and take the Mama Gateman to the thing or not?
With that evil smirk of his, I am questioning.
because now that he's like gifted this entrance into heaven, it's kind of like, so is he actually going to do it now? Because now, no matter what he does, he could come back on his word. Does that mean they take away the heaven thing? Who knows? Because their ideals of heaven and hell are weird. Although, no, I think they actually did a decent job when they did the devil one. They did that one pretty good. Anyways, what do you
really
think,
want
dude?
you to do the Doctor Who episode where he meets the devil. Yeah, I agree with you. This was a fun one, aside from that really, really terrible final scene. The messaging, I liked some of it, hated some of the others. I
Yeah.
thought the concept was interesting, especially, someone who thought he was immortal for hundreds of years, now having to face possible mortality. He doesn't even know if he can, well, I mean, he knows he can die. He doesn't know if he will.
Right. But like, and we know that we don't know how his brother died, but we know his brother's dead and he was a vampire.
Yeah.
But we don't know how he died. So it's kind of like, is he worried about that happening or what? We know he ages clearly because he has dentures and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I thought this was a really good one. Once again, the writer delivers with a deep thought episode.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's it.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we've talked as we went. I don't know if there's anything left to say, really.
No. Oh, I will say this. If you disagree with me on my takes on the religious stuff, it's okay. I still love you guys. I don't care. We're supposed to have disagreements.
I care. You are to agree with everything I say. Always.
I'm no pastor, so I'm not here to preach to anybody. I just said
you haven't tried to go for like teaching or something.
No. God. Oh no. I would get kicked out of any denomination then.
Well, I meant like a university, not a.
Oh no. It would require me to go back to school and get a degree, another degree.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Never mind.
Anyways, next time we are talking about Just Another Pretty Face.
Oh, I didn't know there was an episode about me.
Yeah. So I'm going to say...
He just shrugs that off. All right.
A part of me wants to say Maryland, but that's not going to be Maryland, I don't think. I think it's going to be... We had an episode almost with the same title before with Herman back in the original series. So I think maybe it's something like that where Herman becomes human again.
Oh, that would be interesting. See John Chuck.
I don't think we've seen him out of the makeup in this entire show yet.
That's really interesting. I'm gonna go the same line, except I think someone's gonna change gender through science again.
Oh, like do like the where
the end.
Was it Herman was like a lady or something before?
Yeah, until he got hit by lightning again.
Yeah. Thankfully, hopefully before Grandpa got to him, because that was a cringy episode.
Oh God, when Grandpa became a woman. Oh. What about that time Grandpa pretended to date his own daughter?
What about the time where Grandpa was a horse and wanted Herman to ride him?
There's so many questionable jokes in this series.
All right. Yeah, so I think that's the next time we show up, guys. Just another pretty face, and see what you guys think. Message in the comments and stuff before after this episode drops, and see what you guys think. See if you guys come up with what it is before we get to it. All right.
And if you don't tell us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you know, Frank, don't tell us.
He's been good.
Any final words, Tivis?
What a crazy episode, and I hope next week we've had a couple in a row that have been crazy. Yeah. I do want to say I'm sorry about the audio last week. I don't know if it was just the podcast listeners that had that, but something happened with my recording.
I think it came out really good. I think it came out fine. Yeah. It transitions just great. So you're good.
Cool.
Dude. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, I guess with that all said, we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
The lesson I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.
Myke and Tivis got love for you, no lie. We appreciate the fans in every way. Thanks for rocking with us every Munster Monday. Leave a comment, share, let your thoughts fly. Myke and Tivis got love for you, no lie. We appreciate the fans in every way. Thanks for rocking with us every Munster Monday.
Or will the voice of Michelangelo save the day and bring Grandpa back to his happy place? Will Grandpa's needs wow, we're gonna restart this whole thing because that is like, oh wow, I can't read today. All right, cut that.
Take two.